Hey guys, welcome to the Spotify versus Apple Music premium subscriptions. Apple Music versus Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the No. I don't know what I want to say. This is why you should use a script. It's $9.99 for an individual. Let me just reword this. And same with Apple Music. Let's do this. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to today's video, and in this video we are going to be comparing Spotify and Apple Music. So a while back I found out that there's a 3-month free trial of Apple Music, and I saw some of my friends using Apple Music and I just never did because I was always with Spotify, and I believe it's because I started on an Android-based phone a long time ago. We're going to compare the premium subscriptions between both companies, and I just want to take the time right now and say I'm not being paid by either company. When I set out on this journey to find out which one is the best fit for me, and yeah, I looked up on the internet for some comparison videos. There's a couple, some of them just listed all the things, but I just really wanted to talk to you guys about the functionality and stuff like that. So let's just jump right in. Okay, so we're gonna start with the obvious first question is, how much do they cost? That is an easy one. They cost the same amount. For Spotify premium service, to where you can not just listen to the radio, it eliminates all the ads, and you can save playlists to your devices, is $9.99 plus tax a month. And if you want a family plan, it's $14.99 a month for a family plan. And I believe it's up to 4 or 6. Don't quote me on that one. And same with Apple Music. Individuals, it's $9.99. And for a family plan, it's $14.99 as of making this video. And let me just throw this out there. Spotify actually has a free version of their platform. It's to where you can... I've had playlists made, and when I canceled my service to switch over to try the Apple Music, once the subscription ran out, I still had all of my saved playlists, but they weren't downloaded to my devices anymore, and if I wanted to listen to them, I couldn't just listen to them and pick which song I wanted to. It blocked them out. You can only listen to it on random and have access to the Spotify radio, so it kind of technically turns into Pandora. So if you don't want to pay for anything, you don't want to pay for any premium music, and you don't care about or need to download any of your music to listen offline, then go with Spotify because they have the free version. You don't have to pay for anything. Free is always good, unless you want premium, then you gotta pay the price. Layout and functionality. Well, let's do this in different categories. Okay, so we're gonna first talk about functionality. I was so used to Spotify and how they categorized everything. And you can also, on both platforms, on all of your playlists, you can list them as you put them in there, which I did for most part because I didn't know that you can do it alphabetically. I just didn't check. Or you can do it alphabetically. One thing I did like about Spotify over Apple Music is when I'm listening to a song, you know, it comes up with the big one and it comes down, and if I exit out or go to a different app or close it all together and come back, it comes back right at that song, right where I left it, and I can just hit play and continue on. Now on Apple Music, when it does that and you completely X out of the app, then it's blank. You have to go find that song you're listening to and hit play again. So that's a little 1+ for Spotify. And now on the Apple side, we're going to do about organization. And now the searching for the songs is a little different. They have tabs at the bottom from Apple Music, and it has like a search and your library and stuff like that. Now, one thing I did like about Apple Music over Spotify in terms of layout is that when I was searching for a song, I can just jump to search it, and then hit like add to playlist or library, and then I can go back to my library and keep scrolling. So it's kind of like you have two lists going at the same time, and you don't have to it doesn't reset every time you flip from search to library. And also, when you are going through, maybe you have an album, you have a band, but you don't want their whole album, you just want certain songs from it. But in Spotify, if I wanted to save individual songs, then I would have to, when I'm adding to a playlist, I'd have to scroll and find that playlist and then add the song, then go back to the search and then add another song, and when I want to add that song to that playlist, scroll and try to find the playlist. That was a very big drawback for me, and I just went on with it because I didn't know about Apple Music at the moment. But in Apple Music, it learns. It doesn't do it the first time, but after 2 songs you added to the same playlist, it knows that, hey, maybe you want to add more to this song, so it keeps it at the very top. It kind of pins it at the top. So now I can just keep adding and adding. I don't have to scroll and find my playlist that I want to add it to. And it'll continually change. So if I'm done with that one, then the first couple times I have to go and find it, and then it will keep adding to that playlist, which I love. Now, I want to quickly touch on the radio parts. I really don't listen to Beats One radio. I haven't really looked into it. Maybe I should do a little bit more, but I'm not. If I have Pandora for that, for both of these, that's why I don't use them. But back on Spotify, I loved that they had weekly, they take the genres, they know it learns you. It knows what type of music and genres you're listening to and artists, and then it makes a weekly playlist. And it takes some from your offline and some mixed in that you didn't pick. And I love that. Now, I heard that Apple Music might be doing something like that, but as of now, they don't. So, I love that about that those weekly kind of your picks, because sometimes, I don't know, I like listening to music that I already have, but yet dive into some new bands that I would never think of or know that were out there. So that's another plus for Spotify. Compatibility. This is where Spotify gets 4 notches above Apple Music. As everybody knows, Apple has their own ecosystem, and they are reluctant to branch out of that ecosystem. They're like, you can come into our ecosystem, but we don't want to go out. That's just Apple. So for compatibility, Spotify trumps Apple Music big time. I have most Apple products. I have a MacBook Pro, an Apple, and an Apple Watch. And this guy right here is the main reason I switched, because I found out that there was no way you can control your music with the Apple Watch through Spotify. As of now, I don't know if they're going to be expanding that. That would be great. If they did, I might just jump over back to Spotify. I don't know. I like Apple Music. But like I said, the compatibility, it's only with Apple devices, Apple TV, Apple phones, iPhones, iPads, their MacBook, their Macs. That's all. That's it. iTunes. Well, you can have it on PC, but you have to have iTunes, and that's just annoying. But with Spotify, it was on all my game systems. I could listen to music while I was gaming online. It was on my tablet, which is an Android-based, so sometimes my phone dies, and I'm like, nope, still gotta have music. So I take this big tablet around with me, and I can't access anything in my Apple Music because it's not compatible, because it's not Apple. That is a big drawback from choosing Apple over Spotify, but if you're not a gamer and you don't care, or you don't use a PC, and you're just Apple, and you always have an Apple product with you, then that's not a big issue. So I'm going to demonstrate the 2 reasons that grabbed me for Apple Music. Here we go. I'm trying to think of what song I want to listen to. Hey Siri, play Animals by Nickelback. Now there is a delay because
Animals by Nickelback now playing.
Because I haven't hooked up to my system. See, that wouldn't happen in Spotify. I could tell Siri to say, play a song. I'll just tell you anyway. Hey Siri, play Sleeping with Sirens.
Okay, playing playlist Sleeping with Sirens.
And it plays. I love voice control, I love voice commands. And this is the second reason. I don't like this song. Just say I love this song, but say I want to skip to the next song. Boom. I don't have to take my phone out of the pocket. I don't have to speak to Siri. You know, I can turn up the volume. I can turn it back down. Skip songs, and I can access my whole playlist from my wrist. If you have, let me turn this off. Hey Siri, stop playback. And that's awesome. I didn't want to get copyrighted either. Now, an important thing to note, if you have a Generation 2 iWatch and you haven't updated to watchOS 4, you can still have the access to your whole entire library off of your iPhone. And I will never update unless they put that feature back on the new ones. Because I got the watch with the Watch 3 and they had watchOS 4 and I couldn't do that, and tiny little onboard memory just wasn't enough. So that was the functionality. That's great, and that's why I chose Apple Music over Spotify for now. If the functionality comes back to where I can use it with the iWatch, maybe I'll jump on board. Another fact with voice commands is with Alexa, I'm not sure about Google Assistant, I haven't done any research on that one, but I know of the Echo, the Amazon Echo and Echo Dot that uses Alexa. You could say, Alexa, play something something by somebody through Spotify, and it will start playing. You can do that with Apple Music, but it's not built in. You have to have it Bluetooth to your Echo Dot or Echo product. So another little compatibility issue, but it's not a big issue for me. That was the kind of the voice commands and why I chose Apple Music over Spotify for now. But honestly, both platforms are amazing and good quality. I'm not saying anything bad about each one. It comes down to preference. What type of devices are you going to be using? Are you primarily Android and Windows? Then I would lean towards Spotify, most definitely. And if you're more Apple oriented and you don't care about playing music on like game systems and voice assistants through like smart homes for now, then I would go with Apple Music. I'm so glad that the prices are different, so it kind of makes it easier. It can't be like, well, I like these features but it's more expensive, so I'm going to go with the cheaper one. The compatibility there is awesome. The competition is pretty good. And speaking of competition, I'm just going to touch on this real quick. The libraries. Now, Apple Music has a slightly bigger library. The third and final nail in the coffin for Spotify for me was I could only download, are you ready? 3,333 songs. To the average listener, that'd be like, that's plenty, I'm never going to get that far. But I reached that point very quickly and I couldn't download it anymore, so I was constantly finding myself going, okay, what do I want? I want this new band, this new album on here. Which one do I have to not get rid of completely, but just delete from my device? And that was super annoying. I'm currently at 3,438 songs, so that's past it by a little over 100 already. And I believe they said it was like 10,000 or 100,000 songs you can download or something like that on Apple Music. So hopefully I don't reach that limit, because that's a little insane. So that was another big issue. Like I said, final nail in the coffin for me. For Spotify, this gave me tons more room to download more music so I can listen without internet, because my internet is not so great everywhere. I'm not gonna name names of the company I'm at. Damn! Anyways, that's about it. Thank you for joining me on this comparison video. If you liked it, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments your experiences and why you chose either Spotify or Apple Music. Just remember guys, spread love not hate, and when life gets blurry, adjust your focus. Peace.